Okay, section 2 is over, or 5.2 is over Gauss-Jordan elimination, which is solving equations with matrices. Now basically what we're starting with is our set of equations, and we're throwing out the letters. So we have 2 and 3, those are your x letters, negative 2 and 2 are your y coefficients, 8 and 7 are your answer coefficients. And so we've turned this into a matrix. Now the goal when you're doing these is to use operations by adding and subtracting or multiplying by constants to come up with a 1 in the top left corner, a 0 below it, a 1 next to that, a 1 up above it. That's the identity matrix. We'll discuss that later. And then whatever's left over here is going to be your answer. Now suppose you start with this matrix, which is the one we just had. We want a 1 here. 1s are found by either multiplying or dividing. Multiply by half or divide by 2, whatever. So I'm going to take half of it and leave it there. So basically I got a 1, a negative 1, and 4. Now I want to combine these to get 0. To do that, I'm going to triple this one and subtract that one. So that's 3 minus 3 makes 0. Negative 3 minus 2 is negative 5. I'm multiplying by 3 times 4 is negative 12 plus 7. Let's see, positive 12. And minus 7 is 5. And now we need a 1 here. 1s are found by dividing or multiplying by 1/5 in this case. So I get 1 and negative 1. And if I add these together, 1 and 0 is 1. Negative 1 and positive 1 is 0. 4 minus 1 is 3. So my answers are going to be 3 and negative 1. So again, you just look right here to find your answers. And some really helpful hints. Whenever you want 1s, either divide or multiply by fractions, whichever. If you want to get a 0, you're going to combine some rows. You're going to add rows together or subtract rows or multiply by a number and then add or subtract the rows. Okay, another example. Suppose you have 1, 3, 1 and 0, 2, negative 4. Okay, in this particular case I have my 1 and below it I have my 0. So all that's left is I need this to turn into a 1, so I'm going to take half of it. Half of 2 is 1, half of 4 is negative 2. Now I need this to turn into a 0. So I need a 3 here, and I'm going to subtract. So I'm going to take row 1 and subtract 3 of these. So this minus 3 of those is 1. 3 minus 3 of those is going to be 0. 1 minus 3 of these makes 3 of those makes 6, and 1 is 7. So my answers are 7 and negative 2. So x is 7 and y is negative 2. So that's how you can use what's called Gauss-Jordan elimination to solve equations.